Go on.
Sorry,
You
bro.
go. Nah,
Oh,
go.
you're doing the actual one now?
Yeah.
I thought you were still doing a test.
Nah, don't worry. Now we're good to go, man.
No, go on, calm.
Yo, guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've got a special guest on today. Actually, we've known each other since primary school, innit?
Yeah,
Primary school. So
long time.
Abby, yeah. So I moved there in year 4, you know. Year 4. So how old is that? That's about 9 years old, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what, we're about 22 now. So
Time
yeah,
actually.
exactly. So this is the second episode in my conversations with the Unheard, something like that. The series is, right. You'll know better than I do right now. It's on the title. And pretty much the unique thing about. Do you want to give your name as well, bro?
It's Cain or Qabil in Arabic.
Jeez, quick switch up that. I like that. Oh, what does it mean?
Qabil actually means able. So you know the English translation, Cain and Abel. Cain means able. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, now that is crazy how that switches up. So, obviously as part of this series, what I want to do is speak to people who generally you won't often come across and that type of thing. Or, you know, they're just not as common. So the previous video, I'll put the little eye up on top, was with a guy called Rab who was homeless. Often, you know, we walk past him. Their stories unheard. And I think Cain or Qabil, is quite a similar position. Straight up, being white, British, go around that, and Muslim
It's not that common, is it?
It's not as, I think it's becoming more common, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I've got a few brothers.
Yeah. So, alhamdulillah. So we'll go straight into it. So what I wanted to cover first, is basically your background.
Well, I grew up religious or like.
Religious, ethnicity, everything. So you're born and bred British.
I have no idea. My mum and dad don't know. Obviously, I'm white.
Yeah.
So like,
but you're white. You're British white.
Yeah.
Through and through, innit? As far as I'm aware.
Well,
There's no Pakistani genes in there or nothing.
Not that I know of. But I grew up Christian or non-religious. So I grew up believing in God, but not really knowing anything. So like my mum, mashallah, she used to read me Bible stories, as in Old Testament stories, so like Noah, like Joseph, those kind of things. As I got older, I went more into the New Testament and like modern Christianity. Then I left that to Old Testament alone.
What age was this at then?
At about 18, I converted to Christianity. I left that after about 2 years to Old Testament alone.
Well, if we drop it back a bit, sorry man, sorry to cut you off.
No,
so I don't want to jump to 18. So before that, were you any religion or anything?
I grew up non-religious but believing in God.
Yeah.
So
but was that a personal thing or family thing?
Personal thing really, because my family is Christian, but I grew up just believing in like the Old Testament stories that I'd heard growing up. I believed in them. I believed in a God. I prayed every now and then.
Yeah.
But obviously, not practicing in any way for any religion.
Yeah.
So I got serious about 18, and I was sad, and Christianity.
So that's one of the things I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, hard times they make people think about religion.
Yeah.
So like it gets you thinking like, well, you know how it is, isn't it? Started going to church. Obviously, start slowly. Got more and more into that. After about 2 years more study, I studied the Old Testament and I realised it contradicts in it. So like Christianity is like, modern Christianity is a madman. So I left that and I went to a thing called Unheard and started studying Judaism more. So like Messianic Christianity, then into Judaism, Unheard. And that's what actually brought me to Islam.
What really pushed you with this whole religious thing? People go to drugs, innit? People go to drinking.
Yeah.
But you've pursued Christianity and then you've pushed on to, you've really gone down that road, and it's just it's quite interesting.
Well, I don't even know how to explain it, Obviously, if you're going through sad times, you start questioning things, don't you? Like questioning everything. You start like changing your life.
So what was it, finding what your actual purpose is? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, exactly. So like you lose something needs to go there, innit?
Oh yeah, and that's a good way of putting it,
Yeah, it's the only way I can put it like not the best with words, but
no, you're doing well, man. You're doing well, man. But I'm struggling here as well, man. Don't worry in general, man.
anxiety.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what you said is, so how long were you, so at 18 you accepted Christianity, because I want to go through it slowly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because what
And
I
that's
want,
modern Christianity, by the way.
modern as in
Yeah.
Trinitarian.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I want to take it step by step for the viewers, because I think for a lot of people, yeah, it's massive in it to see like someone like yourself accepting Islam and that kind of thing. So how long were you Christian then? Sorry, so you accepted at 18. How long did you remain a Christian?
So I was Christian for about 2 years, maybe a little bit less.
Because at one point I spoke to you about it as well, I think. And were you Christian at the time? Oh yeah,
When was this?
when I first spoke to you, after obviously ages of school and whatnot, I think you were questioning Christianity. I remember you saying you're looking into Islam.
I think
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we
yeah.
I can't really remember when we spoke, but
Yeah.
I think I'd reverted then. So like I said my shahada, but I wasn't properly fully on it.
Oh right, right.
Because when I reverted, I said my shahada because like I already believed in Islam and everything, but it's hard to explain. But Judaism teaches like Islam is correct. You know what I mean, in a sense. So like there's a line of Ishmael.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he's got his own covenant basically and things like that. So I believed it, but I wasn't dedicated to it. So I said like, you know, Ashhadu an la ilaha
Yeah,
Ashhadu an
yeah.
la ilaha illallah
Yeah,
wa
no.
Ashhadu anna Muhammadan
It's not a test, man. It's not a test.
Alhamdulillah, it's not a test.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Okay, now that's interesting, man. Okay, so why for you, yeah? Again, there's so many religions out there, innit? Why did Islam stand out for you? Would you say?
Okay, so I'd definitely say growing up, there was a influence on me from the Old Testament stories that I'd heard. So that kind of led me to believe Torah, things like that, which obviously I mistakenly went to Christianity for. But obviously Islam, like the Quran, is the kind of follow on from that. So
As they say, like the final chapter. Kind
exactly the final messenger, the final, which is in the final book.
Yeah.
So
Obviously, that's no disrespect to anyone watching. It's our belief, really, innit?
yeah.
Okay.
True.
Okay, but also, okay, I know I keep on going back to this, but I think this is the thing that people are going to find quite the most crazy in it. So, especially there, because growing up, our school was quite white, innit?
Yeah.
High school and primary school. I don't think there were many Muslims.
Nah, it's not like
So
proper Asian area.
Nah, man. So I don't think there was much Muslim influence on you either.
There wasn't. You know, one thing I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
basically, when it was Ramadan in school, he was like telling me about it, and that's like the first proper time that I learned anything about Islam. And it was like just that he was fasting, and I found it proper mad. And I was like, why are you doing this? And but yeah, I went the day without kind of eating and drinking. Like obviously, I wasn't Muslim.
Back then.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, I was telling you the other day, like honestly, it's mad just the little things leading up to it.
Yeah, you don't know what someone might say and how it might influence you, innit?
Exactly, it's all written, isn't it? So like
Qadr.
the qadr of Allah,
Yeah.
literally. So the place that we're in now, all the little things have added up to this. So definitely.
So what specifically about Islam stood out to you then? Out of all the because again, there's so many choices, man. People go to Buddhism. People don't even believe in anything a lot of the time. What stood out about Islam for you?
For me personally, back then, it was mostly, it was actually a Jewish rabbi who was doing lectures on Islam, which led me to believe it, because obviously, as following the laws of Noah, basically, like Judaism for non-Jews, kind of, it's hard to explain, but we're taught to believe that. So obviously I already believed it, but then when I started learning Islam from Islamic sources, I was even more like awestruck of it. So like
By what specifically though?
Islam is, you know what it is?
Could you break it down into
They're
certain
actually
things?
religious. Muslims, they're actually religious. So they know the Quran in Arabic. They don't rely on like translations. You know, you have to learn Arabic. You have to, you know, study properly and like pray 5 times a day. It's obligatory. You know, it's just a way of life in Sharia, like principles and like laws that we follow.
It's taken quite seriously, and
It's real.
It's not a joke.
You
Like,
know what I mean? It's real. Exactly. It's not a joke. It's actually real, because a lot of times Christianity, other religions, it's just like a name, but no action. If you know what I mean? It's just
I know
a cultural
what you
thing,
mean. I know what you
and
mean.
like I know Islam is cultural, like in a sense there's a lot of culture.
There's a lot of
But
culture
it's so
around it.
real, and like I mean, obviously, what culture that I have, like fish and chips on it. You know what I mean? Like
There's nothing wrong with that, bro.
So like, it's not, but it is. You know what I mean? There's a larger aspect to it as well. So yeah.
What about, because a lot of people come, from what I've heard, yeah, a lot of people come to Islam based on, a lot of them cite scientific miracles and miracles and this type of thing.
Yeah. For me, it wasn't really because of that, but that definitely helps. Like I was literally telling my bro the other day, like if someone's agnostic, I can tell them.
That's fine, man. Just one of the guys.
I can tell them for a fact that like Christianity isn't true, modern Christianity, because it has contradictions. You can't do that with Islam. Like no one can disprove it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's something you have to look into
So
a lot.
it definitely helps.
Yeah.
Like, the miracles and that.
Yeah. Okay, so again, so with this, you don't need to go into much detail, as much as you're comfortable really. And if you do say anything, just so the viewers know, if there is anything cut out, obviously with whoever sits next to me, I'll just let you know. You guys know the process. I'll record with them. I tell them I won't mention anything. You know, we don't have to. If there's any topics pretty much that they don't want to talk about, we won't talk about. And if they do mention anything, I can cut it out that they later don't want in there. And I also always send them a copy of the video before I put it out to get their approval. So there's no pressure on the guests basically, just so you guys know and obviously they know. I say that I've only done one video. Yeah, so what I wanted to ask you is also, so once you've accepted Islam, so you say that your family is more of a Christian background.
It's Christian, like more of a culture thing. So they're not practicing, they don't go to church, they don't read the Bible, they don't do anything like that, but they'd say they're Christian.
Yeah.
So
how did, so do they know you're Muslim? So you'll be Muslim 2 years from now, innit?
no, yeah.
Oh, you're 1 year, sorry.
If that, a little bit less, I'd say about 8 months.
And do they know you're Muslim?
Yeah.
How did they take that and how did it go down?
My
You talk
mum
us
and
through
dad,
it.
they took it brilliantly, alhamdulillah. Like honestly,
Yeah.
it couldn't be better because when I was Christian, I used to tell them about it. When I don't even know how to say, but when I was Unheard, it's kind of what they say. I used to tell them about that. I explained it to them why I'd left Christianity, and like they're more open to it in a sense that they're willing to learn. Do you know what I mean? So when I reverted to Islam, alhamdulillah, they took it brilliantly. And I told them why, I explained it. I explained them about Islam, you know, I tell them about Islam. Yeah, they took it great.
That's a massive struggle that alhamdulillah you haven't had to face then, innit? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Because
literally.
I've heard about a lot of Muslims who accept Islam and they get thrown out their house, man.
I've heard similar stories, honestly, it's
Yeah.
crazy, isn't it? But nah, I haven't had that, alhamdulillah, like,
No, so you
can't complain.
Yeah, man, you got quite lucky there then.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Well, what about the wider scheme? So friends. So you mentioned family took it quite well. Friends, work.
A lot of friends, they when I left Christianity, I lost a lot of friends.
Were they all Christians?
Yeah. Most of my friends was Christian then. Because obviously going into Christianity, you leave other friends, don't you? So I kind of lost the Christian friends, apart from a few good ones, which mashallah, that I'm still very much friends with today, even after reverting to Islam. So, you know, some friends, they took it well, other friends didn't. But overall good, alhamdulillah, can't complain.
Okay, what about public? You were walking around as well is another thing I wanted to ask. How does that, and entering a masjid as well, a mosque?
It's beautiful, man, honestly.
But do you face any difficulties in that?
Not all.
Which,
literally.
out of curiosity as well, for those who don't know who are watching, we're in Birmingham, and you grew up obviously in Birmingham, that kind of thing, and so did I actually. Which mosque do you go to?
Kensal Huda,
I'm not sure where that is, man.
Adderley Road.
Huda. Okay.
Kensal Huda. Yeah.
Huda. Okay.
Huda.
What are they mostly Pakistani though?
Yeah, it's Urdu. They half of the things are in Urdu.
Oh yeah.
So
They are.
it's like
But there's no.
there's me and another brother who's white.
But are you recognize faces then?
Say again.
Do they recognize you regularly?
Yeah, definitely. I'm there every week, mashallah.
And they're like, there's no funny business.
Well, no funny
Because
business.
sometimes, because you know what it is, I ask because there's some other elders especially, they can just be a bit weird.
Honestly, nothing but love. Nothing but love.
Yeah.
And some of my closest boys now are from there. Like, honestly, the amount of likes, there's nothing like. My mate was telling me the other day, like, he doesn't even see me as a white guy. Like, he literally forgets I'm white. So, you know.
No, I mean that shouldn't be a factor anyway, innit?
Yeah, yeah.
But from what I found, some of the older,
The elders are even better.
Yeah.
Honestly, nothing but love.
yeah, you got lucky then, man. Honestly, I'm not being funny, but you do hear about some stories, innit? Like
do.
I've heard about, say, like some black brothers who have converted, and they're just like, do you know what I mean? We're closed.
Yeah.
You know Muslim Bilal. A lot of people who might have watched this.
Yeah.
Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
He mentions in one of his things, I don't want to go too much into it, but if you search him, it's a talk where he was like, early on when he converted, reverted, whichever word you want to use, they didn't let him in the masjid that one time. Some stuff like that. So I think there is some, do you know what I mean? There are some that are a bit
Yeah, definitely.
unnecessarily.
More of a culture thing though, isn't it? Or like,
Yeah, there's a bit of
you
a-
don't know what it is. It's just
There's a bit of, I don't know what is going on here. Yeah.
yeah.
So going back to, so you've accepted Islam. We've spoken about how if the easiness pretty much, or the ease that you went through with family and friends.
Alhamdulillah, it's been an amazing process. Like literally everything. I couldn't ask for it to have gone better.
Yeah.
Like it was written, and I'm thankful it's been written like this. Like,
Yeah.
SubhanAllah.
So even as a born Muslim myself, yeah, growing up, I'd get, be it at work, at school, in social settings, you do get questions because Islam is a hot topic. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of good and a lot of bad that's going on. So people have questions in it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, people have asked me, yeah, munch the ice cream, he's got an ice cream, and bro, eat it away,
Can't do
man.
that on camera.
Nice, don't worry about it, man. So what I was going to say is, like I've been asked, for example, there's a few specific hot topics, yeah, and I'll list them out here. So the ones that come to mind are the Islamic laws, yeah, regarding women, yeah, women's rights, the Sharia, yeah, this word that's thrown around.
Can't do that on camera, but yeah.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Sharia.
Sharia, just and LGBTQT. That's the one, innit? So these are topics that I've been asked a lot growing up. So as a non-Muslim who's now accepted something, like I'm born into it, innit? So someone could turn around and say to me, if I say I don't know, they might think, alright, he's just following what his parents did.
Yeah.
Whereas you've made a conscious effort to join this religion. Do you get people asking you much about, okay, how you joined it, but what does it say about women? What does it...
I don't really get many questions like that.
But it has been a short while, to be fair, that you've been Muslim.
True, I have had a few, but the thing is with like women, it's not what people think, is it? Like the amount of rights that women have in Islam is not ridiculous in like a bad sense, but like they've got a lot of rights, like more than like.
Or it kind of balances out, innit?
Yeah, literally there's like. I don't know how to explain it. You tell me.
But yeah. So I mean, it balances out pretty much. It's not equal, but it.
Women aren't
How
men.
does it? Yeah, exactly. Women aren't men. Men aren't women, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
But it balances out, as in they've got the right rights that each one should
Women
have.
have more rights than men.
In some regards,
It's not
innit?
fair in some ways. Like, honestly.
No, when it comes to money,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know if you've heard of them ones.
Bro, I've heard of them. It's mad.
Yeah.
It's peak.
It's like as a man, you're responsible for your mom, your sisters, your daughters, your wife. Whereas
Her
vice,
money is her money.
And-
My money is her money.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
but there's a whole system of how to work it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't. So you've not found pressure in answering because growing up, especially about 17, 18, is when because I don't come from a hugely practicing family, to be honest with you. But I found interest in religion myself. Yeah. So a lot of topics I started to look into, like where people are, with because the EDL and shit, Britain's first. They over the last few years they've been big over here, innit?
Yeah.
And they're banding out these things about your prophet. and
Negative
this and that.
stereotypes and like disrespect.
But what it did to me was make me look into these things. You get me?
Alhamdulillah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's
But
happening a lot of times when people speak against Islam.
Mm.
it makes people study it and turn to Islam. Alhamdulillah.
But what I'm saying is, you've not had people throw questions at you where you've turned around and been like, oh, I'm not sure about that. Or,
I just say it how it is. Like honestly, like I try to give the best Islamic answer.
yeah. So what I was saying there, sorry, just cut out. So you don't feel much pressure from the outside, be it work, social, on these sort of, as I mentioned, sort of hot topics. You don't feel that pressure in answering these questions, because even I found that, to be honest.
I don't feel awkward saying it because I believe it and like I'm confident in it, and what I know I'll give an answer on. I would just say the Islamic view on it, or views should I say. But yeah, no awkwardness in answering these questions, because people need to know in it. You know what I mean? If we say no, or like we and ah about these questions, what are we representing in Islam? If we represent an Islam that isn't Islam, we're not representing Islam, are we? Like,
Yeah.
So I find it's best to just say it how it is. And yeah, it's calm.
Okay, so if I can just cast it back a bit as well. So do you remember the date you took your shahada?
I don't remember the date. I've got it on my phone though, because I messaged. I was like, I just took my shahada and I was so gassed, and he got gassed.
Are you
his
still in
family got
Are you
gassed.
still in touch with him then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So taking it back to there, yeah. You don't have to remember the date. But what I wanted to ask you is that where you did it, how you did it, and what the feeling was like, because a lot of people describe a sort of surreal feeling in it. I mean, it doesn't have to be for everyone, but I'm just curious, like, because I've not been through that process.
This is a bit of a. Okay, so basically, I went to masjid with my bro. You know, the one I was telling you about. Mashallah, sick guy. I went masjid with him. I met his sheikh, you know, I listened to the lecture, and then they started like 6 in the morning asking the sheikh questions. Obviously before lockdown.
Everyone does.
No, just a few of them. A few of the ones that
To 6 in the morning.
Bro, they stay up all night. The sheikh literally hardly sleeps.
What's his name?
Sakibi, Iqbal. Cut that bit out right there.
Yeah, go on. I think I might know who you're about here. Is he like a peer?
Yeah.
Peer Saqib Shami.
I
Yeah.
think that's the one.
He's a big boy, him, you know.
Get me.
He's not a small guy, that guy. Bro, that guy's massive. Shaqib Iqbal, yeah.
That guy.
Bro, he's a big don. He's got 500,000 Instagram followers.
On Facebook, he's got 5 million.
Bro, he's not a joke, that guy.
Not, mashallah, honestly, I got so much love for this guy.
I know a few people who really follow him as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what I'll go into next, is groups and stuff in it. So he's on the Sufi tariqa in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which tasawwuf and that.
Ahlus Sunnah.
Ahlus Sunnah, everyone's Ahlus Sunnah. We won't get into these wars here, yeah. A lot of these people, they're not going to be Muslims, so they're not going to understand.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of divisions, which we'll go on to. You know what, no, let's spin it back, because I did want to cover that point. So you stayed up till 6 a.m. with Sheikh
I stayed up till
Saqib
like
Pir,
3.
for those who don't know, Pir Saqib Shami.
Mashallah.
If that's
amazing,
the exact name, yeah. He's massive. England, Pakistan, he's huge. And all over the world, I'm sure, but I know specifically in those two countries. But go on.
He's so humble, mashallah. Like, honestly, I spoke with him for about an hour or two, literally just speaking about Islam and like what I thought, and he was like confirming things for me and, you know, correcting me in like some of the things I was asking. He's telling me the correct answers. And yeah, I took my shahada because he said basically I already believed it, and like I did already believe it.
So was that on that day till 6 a.m.?
On that day till about 3 a.m. Yeah. To get 3 in the morning. So, yeah.
No time to waste.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing, actually. No time to waste. Like he said, I might as well say it because I already believe it. But I was thinking I wasn't ready. You know, because obviously coming into Islam, like looking at it from the outside,
There's a lot, man, isn't it?
it seems like a lot. Like, well, it is a lot in a lot of ways. But
There is. It's the essence is simple, isn't it? But then, the deeper you get into it, I guess,
literally.
there's a lot of rules you could say. One could say.
It seems a lot to follow. It seems
Yeah.
hard to go into. So obviously it didn't put me off. but it made me want to do it at a later date.
Yeah, as in prepare for it.
Exactly, prepare for it.
Yeah.
Worded it brilliantly.
So what was the feeling then? Was there much of a feeling? A lot of people say I don't know if it's I don't know if it's like I don't think the word is placebo, but not placebo, but
I know you mean, like
do you know what I mean? Like a bit kind of the feeling it a bit. But yeah, how did it feel, man? Because
it felt good.
Sorry for those who don't know, what they say is in Islam, once you accept Islam, all your past sins are forgiven, is what they say. Yes, one of that. So essentially, this is taking place as you utter the words. So how did that feel?
Felt good. At the time, to me, it wasn't that deep. It was just saying my beliefs on that. When I say it wasn't that deep, I mean I didn't know all that yet.
Yeah.
It was probably a few months after. That's when I got the feeling like I fully just gave myself to Islam, and like it was beautiful. Like life can't be bad, can it? Because it's all written. Like Qadr of Allah. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that.
Nah,
correctly.
bang on, bro, bang on, man. Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So I'll take it back to what I was gonna say earlier there. So that Bir Shakib Sami, is it?
Well,
I don't know if I'm getting it right. You know what? I don't know if I'm getting it right, man. I'm gonna get all these followers hating. If any of them
follower, man.
Yeah. Don't beat me up, man. For those of you who don't know, we didn't get on that much in school, man. I don't know if you know that. So it's quite ironic, this, man. But you know what I thought about? Well, I mean, it's a no-brainer, innit? But when you're young, you're just dumb, man, innit? Straight up, innit?
Literally, you know the other guy I was telling you about? One of my best boys now. Literally, I met him, town. He was arguing. He was going at it, like, honestly, it got a little bit heated.
Because you were doing your Christian preaching, he was doing his...
Exactly. We was both doing our dawah. Yeah, it got heated. But we exchanged numbers, and then we messaged here and there. And then 2 years after, I was like, bro, take me to masjid, man. Like, I need to need to find out what this is all about properly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's Saqib Iqbal.
Saqib Iqbal, where the hell did I get Shami from, man? I sound like an idiot now.
I've heard that before.
I think it's probably got 5 names.
Probably.
To be honest with you,
Yeah,
anyway,
mashallah.
yeah, I'll put a little photo up or something.
Amazing, like, mashallah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what they say. So yeah, this is what I want to kind of go into next, is the groups, because this is a big, and we spoke about this, I think.
Groups.
The groups and the sectarianism. You know, like he follows this sort of a certain branch of the Sufi. I don't know if it's the Naqshbandi, what they call the Naqshbandi. Have you heard of that?
I've heard that, bro. All these work, literally.
Yeah.
My Arabic isn't at that level yet. Like.
Yeah, but it's just certain groups. So how did you find that, is what I wanted to ask, because me as a born Muslim, this is about you, but I'm talking about myself, innit? I'm gonna get some airtime as well, innit? I'm only messing, but just how it differs between us. So as a born Muslim, obviously I was born Muslim, so I'm Muslim straight away. My family naturally is gonna follow a certain group, and even though, because it might have been slightly different because they weren't too practicing. So I guess actually I'm contradicting myself here, because I started to look into all these groups as well, and it was so confusing. I'll be honest, it was so confusing.
Yeah,
and I flew from extremes to extremes, to be honest with you. Not in no ISIS sense for anyone who's watching, but I mean from what they'd call Salafi, what the group would refer to them as Salafi, which I don't really necessarily have an issue with either, to Sufi, and likewise I don't. But personally, to be honest, I wouldn't class myself in any group.
Yeah.
That's just me. There's not necessarily anything wrong with it, but I can go into my beliefs and stuff in another video. But this is more about yourself. So how did you find it, man? All these groups, pretty much, because there is so many, and a lot of them are respectful.
Yeah.
But a lot of them will throw each other under the bus.
Literally.
So how did you find that?
So at the start, obviously, I didn't know much about it. Even now, I don't know enough about it, but I've looked at both sides. So I've got my boys.
So which sides are these, by the way?
Oh, sorry, as in Salafi versus Sufi is the main one. You know what I mean? That's like the go-to argument.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, it's like looking at hadiths, looking at belief systems, and like why they believe this, why they believe that, and that's both sides. But for me, Sufism, it presents more hadiths.
Right, so pretty much what you're saying is, looking into it, so you just delved into it pretty much. You weren't phased by all these groups.
I was in a sense.
Or was there much just confusion and like, oh, forget this man or anything like that?
The thing is, in a sense, yes, because from the outside, when I look at Muslims, like, I saw pure unity, and then when you look into that, it seems like there isn't that unity that I thought there was. So like, obviously, I didn't know which one to go for. Like, what am I doing? You know, because I thought it was like unanimous. What's the word?
Unanimous, yeah.
Unanimously
Accepted,
like. But yeah, then I like that. What's the question?
No, that's cool, man. No.
Well, I'm babbling.
No, you're doing well, bro. You're doing well, man. First time on camera on that. Innit? I don't know what I'm doing to personally.
Get me.
But no, what I was saying is, so you've come into Islam now, and I'll sort of, I put myself in a similar position because when I first started practicing, one dua I made, which one prayer was that God, like, you brought me to the religion now. I'm born Muslim, but now I've started practicing in it. Yeah, alhamdulillah. I'm about 18 or 17, 18, and I was like, now I'm here, trying to practice. I'm so confused by all these groups. It's like, where do I go from now?
Yeah.
Do you get me?
It's true.
And I jumped side to side, left and right, this scholar, that scholar. He's telling me don't go to them, he's telling me they're dodgy guys.
Yeah.
None of that, what I was asking is, none of that pushed you away from it or anything
It didn't
like that?
push me away because I know that there is going to be that, in a sense, you know, like with a lot of religions, it's kind of like that. It's, I don't want to say disunity, but I know what people are like. If people always argue about everything they can, like literally, not even Muslims, like people argue, don't they? There's going to be different beliefs. It didn't put me off though because, like I said, I already believed it. So like, what this Muslim believes is what that Muslim believes. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is still the last prophet, innit? So like, I'm gonna follow him as best as I can.
So your what you're saying is your core beliefs, they were fixed in it,
Exactly.
as in about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and that kind of thing.
So like beliefs, there's the Quran and the Hadith. Like it's just different ways of interpreting it. Different Hadiths they mainly quote. So for me, as long as someone can prove what they're saying, and that's not just prove it with one hadith, that's like prove it on a whole, you know, like comparing all of the hadiths, and then it's calm in it.
No, that's good, man. Because I think a lot of people are phased by, like, that's one of the reasons I think people don't accept a religion. You know, like they come to it and then they're like, there's all this difference and it's just too much. I can imagine.
I do see that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like you go into it, as you say, they look like unity, and then you just see a fighting and this and that, and it's like, this is not what I signed up for, man. Do you know what I mean?
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. But
then,
you sound like, you know, it sounds like, from what you say, correct me if I'm wrong, what you did is stick to your core beliefs.
Yeah,
Quran,
literally.
Hadith.
What other people do, like I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do, and I already believed in Islam, so I just had to find out more about it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it can only help, like learning about other people's beliefs, even if it just makes me more firm in my beliefs. Like I just try and learn everything I can. So
Yeah. So one of the other questions I wanted to ask is, so from what I've seen, right, there is obviously being white and Muslim, or born a non-Muslim, white British, and accepting Islam, you know, in the 21st century, or however you want to phrase it, where there's so much Islamophobia, to be straight up, and Muslims don't exactly help themselves either, I don't think, to be honest with you. Like with this stupid argument.
well, I
and
don't
stuff.
help myself.
Yeah, but bro, you know what it is? There's people doing a lot of bad things out there, innit? Yeah, sorry, it just cut out there. So what I was going on to, was basically what I wanted to ask is, just another point I wanted to bring up is, or a question I wanted to ask is, there's, from what I've seen, again as a born Muslim, there's a big push about da'wah, which is what we call calling to Islam.
Yeah.
like bring as many white people as you can, black people, whatever, to Islam. I mean, the color doesn't matter, but non-Muslims is what I mean. Is probably a better way to phrase it, right? There's so much effort and money put into that. But what I found is once they accept Islam, there's kind of a drop off.
Yeah,
Did you find that? So
I
it's like
haven't
so
found that
they
personally.
pull you in,
I
get
know
you,
exactly what you're
accept
saying.
Islam, and then once you're
All
Islam,
of
once
the
you're
effort
Muslim,
is
it's
to get
like
you in. Once you're in, forget you.
Do you know what
Is
I
what
mean?
you're saying. Yeah.
exactly that.
For me, it's been the complete opposite. Like, I went to this guy to ask him to take me to masjid. Well, actually, I went to first, and I went Birmingham Central with him. But then I went with my bro to Kanzel Huda, and what was he saying? What was the question?
Your boy took you to.
No, what was the question?
Yeah, so the question was, no, don't worry about it. So the question was, what I was saying is a lot of Muslims, they brought the 150% effort is put to pull them into Islam, and once they accept it, and I know this is not the case for you, alhamdulillah, but for a lot of people, like their families told them to do one, often they've got nowhere to stay. Maybe they, in a really, really, really bad case, their jobs possibly causing them problems as well. They're possibly encountering some level of Islamophobia. They're hitting it from all ends. Their friends are like, "What? Do you know what I mean? What do you mean? Do you know what I mean?" And then the people who pull them in are just like, all right, next one, we've done one. Do you know what I mean? We pulled one in, next one. What you're saying is you've not really had this problem, but you've heard about it. Like you say.
I can completely understand that. In a way, I don't think they'd be doing that with bad intentions. They just want to pull people in and they get excited. They want more people. And they kind of forget about the people that are there.
It's ridiculous, man, though, isn't it? Come on, man. That is ridiculous, man.
For me, though, I kind of put all the effort in to bring myself there, to get my bro to take me there, and then people have been putting in effort with me ever since. Like, some of my best friends are Muslim now, like from there, Kanzel Huda, mashallah. So, yeah, for me, it's me putting the effort in at the start, and then them, as I've grown, going to it, they've been helping me. I'll go to lessons on Sunday.
What are the lessons about?
Just my bro, it's Kanzel fiqh, so it's like the beliefs, the core
So,
beliefs.
is it Hanafi fiqh? Just out of curiosity. Because it's different. What it is for those
There's
not watching.
four, isn't there?
There's four mainstream schools, and they're all accepted to be
Schools of
honest.
thought, yeah.
Schools of thought. In terms of law, so someone say your beard has to be this long. Someone say mine's fine. Someone rebuke me for it and say it's too short. And someone
Yours
say,
is too short. What about mine, man?
well, this is how they differ, though, innit? Based on different hadith. But this is the sort of studying you're doing at the moment, then you would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, stuff like that. Just
So
defied belief, like it's
Defied
defied knowledge. So like,
Yeah. Okay, cool. So your answer to my question, pretty much, just to sum that up, is you've not found that.
No.
Once they brought you in and you brought yourself in, you've been supported the whole way, pretty much.
completely, fully supported. Any questions I've got, I can ask any number of people. Like they'll do anything. Like for each other. Like it's a proper, like, ummah. Like it's a proper community. It's like it's tight. You know what I mean? Brotherhood.
Broad, yeah, wicked, man. So last few points before I wrap this up with you, yeah. And this is taking it back again. I've said that about a million times, but when you accepted Islam or religion, you started to look into. What you said was brilliant. Actually, the way you worded it is it was kind of a void, and you tried to fill it with something else.
Yeah, exactly.
So people often they talk about purpose of life, yeah, and a void, and why am I doing this? And it's something I question sometimes as well. Like, why do I go on? That feeling of what they say tranquility and. Peace, and often people talk about, as I said, they go to drugs and drinking and fame, money, all these things, religion. People do go to, to fill their purpose. You get me?
Yeah.
They're here and they're like, what am I here for, man?
And when you can't answer that,
Yeah, and how
you're in a bad place.
exactly. You just go off the rails potentially, trying to fill it in it. So would you say Islam has filled that for you, and how, if so?
100%. Like honestly, it's even just the fact that I know everything is written. Like it gives me complete not contentment. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but like
Tranquility or
tranquility, like peace. Like I just know
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
written. Like whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I'm just gonna try and do the best I can. Like I believe it. I believe in Islam, so I believe in everything about it.
There's an ayat that goes, Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. Yeah. I don't know if you heard it. So it's verily in the remembrance of God do
The
hearts find peace.
Subhanallah.
So
Literally.
and you would say you really
100%.
feel that.
We're speaking when I pray, like if I pray Fajr, the more time I pray the other prayers, and the feeling that I get, like I feel like I'm doing everything. If I just done those 5 prayers and I didn't do anything else in the day, like you'd feel content with like spending your day, wouldn't you?
You feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and
You've done all you need to do. You know. Well, I mean, obviously there's more stuff, but yeah, it's like it's a way of life. It gives you a purpose. It's stuff to do. It's an actual law. It's like a real system. It's real.
yeah. So just to wrap up the video, pretty much now. I've said that 5 times again as well, man. I'm gonna chat this, guys. You're gonna have to just bear with it, man. So what I wanted to just touch on is how you think Islam is going to affect your life going forward. So in
Every way possible. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, it changed my life completely. I know what I want out of life more. You know, I want a family. I just wanna get on deen. Like everything else is secondary. You know what I mean? So it's changed my life completely. Everything is Islam.
I think we'll end it on that because I think you've answered that bang on, you know. You've answered that perfectly. I say perfectly, but you obviously in your way, isn't it? It's going to differ for everyone out there, but wrapped up wicked, man. So is there, as a last point, yeah, is there anything you want to say to the viewers? There might even be people out there thinking about Islam, or even if, I mean, not everyone has to accept Islam. That's definitely not what I'm trying to put in this video. But if you don't,
Stand for Allah, bro. Don't say that. Don't say not everyone has to accept Islam.
no,
Don't say anything.
Nah, you know what I mean. What I mean. I'm gonna have to explain that. He's refuting me, man. You know what I mean? No, what I mean by that,
No,
bro.
say you shahada, like, you can't say that.
A'udhu billah. That's not what I meant, though. What I meant is, what I mean.
No pressure from us.
I'm not compelling anyone. That's how I meant to phrase it. That's okay. Now, what I mean is, watching. I'm not telling you to. You know what I mean? Like you have to accept this. You have to become Muslim. Because I don't want to push it across. Like, I got a white guy here. He's accepted it. You lot need to all accept it. That's not what I'm trying to do. And it's everyone's own journey. There's no compulsion in religion, is what we believe as well, isn't it? It's one of the ayat as well. I forgot it in Arabic at the moment. But have you got a message to people who are looking into Islam? No pressure in it. No pressure.
Study it, honestly. Islam is such a beautiful thing that the more you study, the deeper it goes. It's
no
never
end in it,
ending. Like, deeper and deeper and deeper, and it gets more beautiful as you go deeper. It's literally amazing. All I would advise people is not take it slow. Take it as fast as you can, but do it at the pace that you're comfortable with. Learn more about it. Learn from Islamic sources, learn from other sources, get an overview of it, compare it, because the beauty of Islam is even if you look at the people who teach against it, and then Islam's reply to that, Islam always comes out on top. You can't be disproved. Study that, say Shahada, inshallah.
Yeah, man. Nah, fair play, man. So wicked, man. Thanks for your time, bro. Honestly, man. Really appreciate that, man. And I'm sure the viewers appreciate this insight to your world, pretty much, man. Which is quite a unique sort of perspective and background you're coming from and stuff, and life that you've chosen for yourself, man. So just to wrap this video up, guys. Obviously, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Standard, innit? He's not used to this kind of stuff, neither am I, to be fair, but. Yeah, so hit the like button, it helps YouTube push out the videos and that kind of thing. If you found it interesting, or if you have any questions for brother, what's your name again? Qabil, man. Qabil or Kane, yeah, which you prefer, man?
Qabil, man.
Qabil.
Well, actually, we haven't found out if it's permissible yet, but inshallah.
Okay.
Either that or something else on there.
Alright, yeah. You can't make your own ijtihad right now. You can't make your own thought on it. Probably not.
I'm not qualified to.
That's the right answer, man. That's the right answer. Yeah, so guys, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Comment down below if you've got any questions for the brother. I'll pass it on. I'm sure he'll be checking the comments and stuff. Do you want to drop your Instagram or that kind of thing? If maybe people have got questions about Islam or
Yeah, you can do.
Go for
yeah.
it. I'll put it on the
It's
screen.
Qabil, so it's 5 underscores, then ak.qabil.
yeah, I'll whack it on the
Then
screen
4
anyway.
underscores.
Yeah, then 4 underscores. I'll put it on the screen and in the description anyway. Yeah, so hit the like button, guys. Comment down below. Also, comment what you want to see next on the series. If you haven't already, I did mention the first video was with a homeless guy called Rab. Pretty interesting video. It's got a fair few views compared to my other videos. Maybe not a lot actually, but anyway, go check that out. I'll put it on the little eye again if I can. If not, it's at the start, and I'll put it in the description. Hopefully, I'm going to keep this series going. Drop in the comments what other sort of type of people you want to see. I'm treating them as like objects, innit? Tell me what you want to see. No, but different views and stuff. I'm trying to get a police officer on.
Stag for Allah.
Bro, no, but bro, imagine a conversation with a police officer though. And imagine you're sitting next to a Fed and you're like, why are you bullying us for, man? Do you know what I mean?
That's one.
I've tried emailing them, man, but they're not getting back to me. But anyway, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Inshallah.
Okay, we'll give customary salam in this video.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.